a ceremony to unveil a plaque in memory of Pat Murray and to dedicate a tree in his memory on the corner of Springfield and Mariposa.
The tree and the plaque to be dedicated to Patrick Murray is just down here. Walk through the park a few steps. So any of those who would like to come along, please do. The more the better. Alice will, of course, unveil the plaque, and then Patrick Murray Jr., eldest son, will speak on behalf of the family there. And then we'll come right back up here because I'm told there's some surprises.
Welcome to the ceremony to unveil a plaque and to dedicate this tree to the memory of Patrick Murray. My remarks will be brief. First, as is obvious, this is a beautiful, tranquil location. But the stone, the plaque, and the tree occupy a prominent place that is highly visible to those who pass by. The stone has gentle, sloping lines, and the plaque is simple and elegant. I think it is entirely fitting that we are dedicating a tree in Pat's memory this afternoon. The tree is a symbol of the environment, a priority of the RPRA. The environment is a fundamental part of our heritage district, which Pat helped to create. He also worked to preserve the character of the village in other ways, such as the establishment of the Village Foundation and the creation of the RPRA, so as to continue the tradition of volunteers contributing their time and expertise to the community. The RPRA continues to promote these shared values. Our association has been pleased to organize today's events and to have the opportunity to honor Pat's memory and his legacy as part of our celebration. I'll now ask Alice to unveil the plaque. Why don't we pull it?
Okay.
Take a side. The plaque reads, "The nearby tree is dedicated to remember Patrick J. Murray, mayor from 1985 to 2000. On dédie l'arbre voisin aux mémoires de Patrick J. Murray, maire de 1985 à 2000. Is that good? Now I believe Patrick Murray Jr. will say a few words. Thanks, Brian. Thanks very much. Thank you all. It's a terrific honor to say a few words on behalf of our family and in particular in memory of the service that Dad put towards the village, for this community, for Ottawa, and for the greater good. Susan in particular, thank you so much. On behalf of all the volunteers, I mean, it's a classic rock effort. Nobody was really asked. Nobody complained. It just got done. Good time, with panache and savoir-faire. So, thank you. So, Rockland Park for Dad was a choice. So he was born here, but for him, he chose to live here. And that choice was based on, A, having an ability to move here, but also the bucolic setting of Rockland. It's a terrific place to live. It has a village atmosphere, no sidewalks. It's a rather slower pace, but a larger expanse. It's truly a great neighborhood and a wonderful community. And that choice manifested itself in other ways. He was proud to be here. And ultimately, he decided to run for council to help out. Volunteer position. And he ran well, and then made the ultimate decision to run as mayor. And did so ably for years. And then right through to the ultimate position of amalgamating into Ottawa. And in so doing, he managed to keep bylaws in place that preserve, as best as he could, the character of Rockcliffe. It's one that it's unique in Ottawa. It's still a privilege to be in Rockcliffe. People that live here are proud of this community, and he's proud to serve it. Now, there were those at the start that probably weren't too sure whether or not an Irish immigrant was the right person to be a mayor, but he did fine, as we all know, and he did everybody proud. Running council wasn't exactly the White House, but it wasn't Dad's Army either. It was somewhere in between. It was volunteers, members of civil service, deputy ministers, assistant deputy ministers, former governors of the Bank of Canada, ambassadors. What a community. It was a very dynamic group to work with. So it was a group that wasn't to be taken lightly. Now, you have to gain their trust and their confidence to lead Rockcliffe Park to the ultimate amalgamation, which he did. And he was proud to do so. Dad was a loving husband to Mom, to Alice, devoted father to Christopher, Brian, Neil, and myself, a brother and partner to Tim, and his wife Jane, his sister-in-law Jill, brother-in-law Donna, and partner, and nieces and nephews that are here that still live in Rockcliffe. And I can go through the names. We'll be here all day. There's a lot of us. And we're all here. And why? Because Rockcliffe was a choice. And Dad made that choice. And one of the greatest gifts we have is the ability to have a choice. That choice for Dad is Rockcliffe. And because of that choice, I think we're all in a better place. Thank you. I met Murray McLean this afternoon, and he couldn't make it, but he asked me to say a few words on his behalf. So he wrote a little poem. And in memory, in light of Patrick J. Murray, former mayor of Village of Rockcliffe Park. Words, they are not sufficient to say, to tell, to know, and to express the love that from the heart, with the sound of singing birds, to convey the agony of loss, sweetened by the warmth of memory that races the greatest memorial which lives in all of us. Carried through life, transitions of dawn, with the prayer of thanks we enjoy the presence of one who is greater than himself, and all his light will remain within us, illuminating our way until we also travel through the valley, dispelling of the shadow. Fill with God, Patrick, we soon too will meet again. Bring it light.
Let me just say how delighted I am that we've been able to do this today to pay respect to Patrick Murray, who really and truly did give so much to this village over such a sustained period of time, and to Alice, who was beside him every inch of the way in all her wonderful get-ups. Hats! Particularly hats. So it's a great pleasure for me to have been able to enlist the help of others to make this happen today. I just, just to tell you a little story about sometimes what's involved. David Arnold, who's a Rockcliffe landscaper, used to live right around here somewhere, right there. So I said, well, the stone isn't quite in the ideal position, and it really needs to be turned around. He said, okay, I'll do that. So he brought in this little machine, and I watched in horror when you found out it was like an iceberg. There was more underground than above ground. And that poor little machine, as strong as it was, struggled. But there we have it. Then the next thing was, the fellow who installed the plaque needed electricity to do the gouging that you had to do.
So where'd you get electricity? Well, you go to the shores across the street and you say, hey, you know, we got a long extension cord, and so that's where the electricity came from. Then when you put down new sod, because the previous sod had died, you have to water it. So I spoke to the fellow up here who's supervising all this stuff that's going on behind us, and he said, oh, there's water there, I'll water it for you. So there you are. We still do have a village at heart.
And I would say